I've gotta say, booting up Metroid on my old NES felt like stepping into a time machine. As a kid, I'd spend hours hunched over my CRT TV, utterly lost in the labyrinth of Planet Zebes, popping that cartridge in now and hearing the iconic title screen music. Those haunting, pulsing notes brought every memory flooding back. For the uninitiated, Metroid dropped in 1986, crafted by Nintendo, and introduced us to Samus Aran, the galaxy's most badass bounty hunter. This game isn't just a classic, it's the cornerstone of the Metroidvania genre, blending exploration, action, and an atmosphere that's still unmatched. So let's dive into why I'm still head over heels for this masterpiece after all these years. The atmosphere in Metroid is straight up phenomenal. You start as Samus in a lonely pixelated corridor, and the game throws you in with zero hand-holding. No tutorials, no map, just you and the eerie hum of Zebes' underground. Hirokazu Tanaka's soundtrack is sparse, but genius. Those droning Brinstar tracks or the unsettling ambiance of Norfair make every room feel alive. Almost hostile. I remember my first playthrough, heart pounding as I rounded corners, bracing for zoomers skittering toward me, or a scree dive bombing from the ceiling. The pixel art, though basic by today's standards, nails the alien planet vibe. The shift from Brinstar's rocky caverns to Norfair's bubbling lava pits, or the metallic sheen of Turian keeps you immersed. Even now, stumbling into Kraid's lair and hearing that low, rumbling theme gives me chills. Gameplay-wise, Metroid is tough but fair, and that's what hooks you. You start with Samus's basic blaster, which feels like a pea shooter against swarms of enemies, but that vulnerability drives the experience. The controls are tight, though the floaty jumps took me a few frustrating deaths to nail. The real magic is the progression. Every power-up, like the Morph Ball, Ice Beam, or High Jump Boots, feels transformative. I still grin ear to ear when I grab the Ice Beam and start freezing enemies to use as platforms. It's such a clever mechanic. Exploration is the soul of Metroid. Zebes is a sprawling maze, and with no in-game map, you're left scribbling notes or memorizing layouts. I used to have stacks of graph paper covered in my awful sketches of missile tank locations. Backtracking to unlock new areas with your upgrades never feels repetitive. It's like solving a puzzle you didn't realize you were piecing together. The bosses are a highlight that still get my adrenaline pumping. Kraid and Ridley are beasts, both in design and challenge. Kraid's massive sprite dominating the screen blew my mind as a kid, and dodging his spikes while unloading missiles felt like a battle for the ages. Ridley's fight is pure chaos. His swooping attacks in that cramped arena had me dying over and over my first time through, but when you finally drop them, the triumph is unreal. And let's talk about the ending. Without spoiling too much, the reveal about Samus was revolutionary for 1986. As a kid, my jaw hit the floor, and it's still one of gaming's most legendary twists. That said, Metroid has its rough edges. Grinding for health and missile refills can be a slog, especially if you're low before a boss fight. The lack of a save system means relying on clunky passwords, and trust me, messing up one character is infuriating. The absence of a map can also be a double-edged sword. I've spent hours lost in Norfair, bombing every wall for secrets. Some might call these flaws deal breakers, but for me, they're part of the charm. This was a game pushing the NES to its limits, cramming an ambitious world into a tiny cartridge. It forced you to engage deeply, to learn Zebes through trial and error. That raw, unpolished feel is why it's so endearing. Revisiting Metroid for this review reminded me how brilliantly it holds up. It's challenging, sure, but it respects your intelligence, trusting you to figure things out without spoon-feeding. The sense of discovery, finding a hidden energy tank, or finally reaching Turian is unmatched. I sank hours just wandering Zebes, soaking in the isolation, blasting Metroids, and hunting for secrets. What's wild is how influential it remains. Games like Hollow Knight or Axiom Verge owe so much to Metroid's formula of exploration and empowerment. It's a masterclass in design that laid the groundwork for an entire genre. If you've got an NES, an emulator, or even Nintendo's online service, do yourself a favor and play it. You'll see why Samus Aran is a legend and why Zebes is a world I keep returning to decades later. This game isn't just a nostalgia trip, it's a timeless adventure that still captures my heart.